All right. We are on. Hang on a second. Let me make sure. I can't see. Do you get your Facebook pulled up?
No, I'm gonna refresh here. Oh,
it says we're live. All right.
We're live.
Right on. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's see. We're just gonna pass the time for a second because we know it takes some time for people to see. Hey, we're doing a show.
Hey, it's Sunday. Hey,
it's Sunday, man. And you know what else is going on? The game 2 is going on right now, or it starts it right now. Anyway, game 2 of the NBA Finals.
Game 2 of the 4-year deja vu.
I know, and that's the only reason I am just not motivated, man. I'm not motivated to watch that game.
Same way with hockey, man. Like I'm really into hockey, and I good for the Caps. I'm a Tampa Bay guy, it's just still. It's bitter. I'm just bitter right now. But that's okay. And
I'll give you a virtual hug. Is that cool?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
But yeah, it's just like it's the same old thing. It's the same old, right? So I just can't get excited. I was hoping that at least one of the teams, at least Boston, would have gone. Or at least the Rockets were gone.
Yeah.
Of course, I live in Texas, so Rockets would have been my preference. But either way, just something different. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it only can last so long, man. We all age, even though how good some of those players are. I mean,
true.
There will be a time, but
that's true. Well, so we got some good stuff to talk about, man. It's Men's Health Month, right?
Absolutely.
So, June's Men's Health Month, and we're going to talk about some great stuff today. Also, because some people, they get on for just a few minutes and they don't get to hear the some of the stuff we have going on. So, like always, I think we should cover the announcements. What do you say?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Let's do the number one big thing. Hey, Patrick, what's happening? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Patrick.
So why don't you go ahead and talk about what you and I were just talking about as far as the nominations? Yes.
Oh, yeah. So the board of directors, as of Wednesday, we kind of solidified what we're going to be doing for awards this year. Actually, the awards nominations actually has been open for the last couple months, but we're just kind of finalizing the objective rubrics. And the process that we're going to be following this year, which is a little bit different, is that we are going to have the awards committee that's made up of actually a few of our members that have been very involved in the awards committee in the past in developing the criteria. But the difference is this year is we are going to have the awards committee do a blind review based on an objective rubric, so that it's completely objective. It's all on standing. We want to make sure this is as transparent and objective as possible because we want these awards to be very special like they have in the past. And so we're always trying to improve ourselves to make it even more objective. And so when those the awards committee will select each individual. We've got the Luther Chrisman Award, we've got the Lee Cohen Award, and we've got the Gene Trinberger Award. But what's cool is that we are finalizing a new award this year, which the title is almost finalized, but it's going to be based off emerging leaders for those individuals who are less than 4 years into our profession and are doing some amazing things, not only for our organization, but for the nursing profession. So we want to really highlight those young leaders as well, because you should.
Man, of course.
And so the nominations are open now. I think Mike and I and whoever our guests are over the next few weeks of the other leadership of AAMN, we'll highlight each award, kind of tell you a little bit of history about the individual, make it special. In that regards, if some of you aren't completely familiar with who these individuals are and why these awards were named after them, and the sooner you get it in, the better. I mean, we want to have plenty of time, and the most important thing, we're kind of restricted in regards to our bylaws right now, but we're going to change for the future where we're getting the recipients notification earlier in the year, because right now our bylaws state that we have to have it open until August. Well, it's really hard to turn around to try to get to the national conference to accept the award if with the late, but we're just kind of in constraints this year. So bear with us. We're gonna change it for the future, but
we're just gradually getting better. We're getting better and better.
There you are.
Sorry about that.
So go to the AAMN's website. It's under the About Us tab, and it says awards. It actually gives all criteria and explains what each award is, and just send your nominations to info@aamn.org, and we will make sure the awards committee gets it. So that's what I got for awards.
Right on. So that's I thought you were going to say best new podcast for AAMN host, and I was thinking, man,
that's actually for 2019. 2019.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I can wait.
Yes,
that's pretty presumptuous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, we also so we're going to have some board nominees, right? Coming. We're going to be getting some new board members here pretty soon, fellas. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to actually bring some of these nominees on, and they're going to kind of just, campaign a little bit. That's going to be exciting. I think it's cool, right? They're going to get on.
I think it's
spread the vision.
Such a new perspective, because, the old nominations process is that you read the same, bullet by bullet, what everybody's done. And it's so great to hear about these accomplishments. But now we have a platform where that individual can come and we can talk and ask questions, and they have a platform to be able to talk to all the membership. And I think that's so cool, because we really, to be a board member and especially where we're going and what we're changing, it's so crucial to have the right people at the right time. And I stress at the right time, because there's so many of us in this organization that are more than capable of being amazing board members. But it's about diversity on the board in regards to not only diversity in its traditional sense, but also in their skill set, to move our association forward. And we want it to be as transparent as possible. So I think this would be a good platform for them to come on and talk to everybody.
Great idea.
So look forward to that over the next few months.
What do you guys think? Anybody have any ideas, any objections, any questions? It looks like we got a couple visitors here. 3 people are watching right now. Again, it's early. It's still early. But hey, we know. Everybody's got life going on, right? I want to talk about a few more things. 2 more announcements, and then we're going to get into the meat of this thing here. The conference is coming up, guys. The LEAP conference. The guys, this is going to be amazing. I really, really, really hope that you guys are going to go. First of all, I would love to meet all of you, right? I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there with bells on, man. I'm going to have my camera. We're going to be videoing. We're going to be podcasting there, man. We're going to have such a good time. And then afterwards, we're going to go out for dinner. We might have some drinks. We're just going to we're going to cut loose. We're going to meet, just mingle. We're going to have a great time. So I hope that you guys are really considering going. It's going to be fun. If you are considering going and you haven't taken any steps toward that yet, just know that the sooner you get your hotels booked, the sooner you buy your plane tickets, the less it's going to cost, right?
Yep.
So
we're kind of in that sweet spot right now for plane tickets. It's about 120, 180 days is usually when it's a hit and miss thing no matter what, but that's usually what those experts tell you is about this time. I waited until this week to book my plane flight for that very, very reason, and I have everything else laid down, but so I've got mine.
You told me a little jewel here, a little gold nugget you gave me before the podcast started, is that you have you said that if we book our hotels through AAMN, we only have to reserve with a credit card. They're not actually charging us right now, right? So
right now it's for incidentals. I think,
right? Yeah. So just a credit card reserves your room, guys.
Yeah, it's a deposit, so it's not. They just need to have a credit card on file, and if that changes. if that changes, I will correct myself on. But I just read over the contract again just 3 days ago for Brent and I did to refresh our memories. But if that were to change, I will let everyone know. But awesome. That's how I read it as of now.
And listen, if you think like, man, this is going to be a little expensive, Christmas is coming, whatever it is. If you want to share a room with somebody, maybe possibly you can use this platform to say, listen, I would like anybody up for sharing a room. Anybody want to split a room, that kind of thing. And that way you can cut costs. Okay. Because we understand, this is just an extra thing. Right. But I'm telling you guys, we're going to bring some serious value at this conference. So we hope that you guys take it and consider it. All right.
Yeah. And you actually, that's a great point. Kyle Plumer, the Midwest regional chair. I mean, he could tell you firsthand. He said the best thing he ever did was room with someone else over. He talked over social media and said, "Hey," when they went up to Minnesota a few years back, he roomed with somebody from the NYC chapter, and just the downtime of talking amongst each other. I mean, the wealth of knowledge. It really benefited us at our Omaha chapter when we were in our infancy, and now we're growing like weeds. And it was, I would say, the everything that we networked with, not just with NYC but other community partners and other chapters, it really benefited. So
I'm telling you, man, that's right. It's that in between time. The conference is great. It's going to be just jam-packed with information, jam-packed with value. But just those in-between times, man, hanging out with people. Because, you have people of all backgrounds, right? You have people of all levels. This isn't just like all undergrads. You know what I'm saying? This is like students, PhDs, executives. I mean, it's just such a wide variety of people that you get to hang out with. I think it's awesome.
And it's a manageable amount of people there too. We're anticipating anywhere from 200 up to 300 people, on the higher end. Wow. It's not a conference where there's 15,000 people and it's just, you can't, maybe one day it won't be that big, but but I like that size as of right now because you get to know everybody. It's everybody is mingling with each other, and it's an awesome, almost intimate feeling in regards to it, but yet there's still so much to do that it feels like a big conference too. So you get the best of both worlds.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, guys, and I hope you're all looking forward to. And we're going to keep plugging it just because life shows up, and it's easy to forget about things, right? The way the mind works, So one day somebody asked me, they're like, "So, if I asked you to name your 100." Actually, no, they say if I asked you to name your 20 top rock and roll bands, what's your favorite top 20 rock and roll? Could you do it? I'm like,
no,
not really. but then they said, but I bet you if I named 50 to 100 rock and roll bands, I bet you'd know of them, right? You would have heard of them. You would have been able to recall them. And that's just how our brain works, right? People, we have to remind you because that's just how everything works, right? I mean,
so you are going to be tired of us talking about this, but that's good because we're going to hound you because this is so important. And we'll talk more details as we get going. We won't always talk about the same thing, but
that's for sure.
But we can't stress enough to be there. So enough of that for this week, right?
Let's move on. We're going to talk about the top 10 men's health issues. Actually,
hey, Ryan.
What I really wanted to do is I want to talk about the top 10 ways that we nurses can maintain our health while at work, right?
Which is so difficult.
Oh my God. I don't know what your break room looked like. I don't even know if you have a break room now, right?
No, I don't.
So my break room looks like this. Okay, so last night, I'm at work, and last night I was working at a freestanding emergency room. Now, if any of you guys have ever worked at a freestanding emergency room, it can be a hit or miss type situation,
Yeah.
depending on where that
You could be doing card magic tricks one night, and then if you haven't seen that amazing video of Mike, or you could be slammed.
slammed.
I accidentally, said the word that you never say to him one night, and it was just bad.
Yeah, thanks.
So,
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So depending on who you're talking to, you're not going to be either good or bad.
Yeah.
But last night, I had 0 patients for the first, 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. So I'm sitting in the lobby, which, most people don't really like sitting in the lobby, right, of the ER. Well, this emergency room is plush. It looks like somebody's living room in the ER. This is in a very rich part of Dallas, right? So anyway, it's really nice. And so I was just sitting out there, and I was actually working on my blog. And then one of the ambulances that comes and transports a lot of our patients came in with this huge box of donuts, right? And he said, "Hey, here's some Hertz donuts we wanted to bring you." And I'm like, "Why? Why? It's nighttime."
Was it National Donut Day? Because that was just the other day.
No, I know, right? And I missed it. So I made up for it yesterday. So anyway, so he brings the donuts in, and they're called Hertz donuts. And I don't know. He said, "You never had a Hertz donuts, have you?" I'm like, "No, I haven't. Should I have?" He's like, "These are the best donuts you'll ever have." And he opened them up, and it looked like, these are all, there was a dozen donuts, and they were all, what do you call them? Specialty donuts, right? There's one with bacon on it. Bacon and maple maple icing. Unbelievable. So, this is what I'm talking about, right? Every time I go to the break room, there's junk food. Every time.
There's so easy. It's so easy to grab and if you're in a hurry, bring something in once, a patient's family brings in for once. It's such a great gesture, and there's not much you can really give nurses. So really nice. I totally get it. But if you have 36 beds on a unit and 12 family members or patients get you something that everyone knows, your lounge or your break area is just, it's carbohydrate heaven.
It is bagels, donuts, or potlucks, right? Or we might have some potlucks going on. You never know when we're going to break out in a potluck, right? Because you're off for a couple days. Nobody's told you. You come back, and then there's this huge spread. And you got this lunchbox. It's packed all neatly. I meal prep. I got all my healthy foods, and I'm looking at all this food, and I'm like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You know what I'm saying? So
you have to.
Got it. Yeah. Just a little bit. Right. And then I think, well, see, now I don't have to meal prep tomorrow. Right. I'm being fiscally responsible. You know what I'm saying?
So Mike brings up the question. So some of these that we, can give some advice on what we've tried before. And please, if others have recommendations or suggestions, please comment. But like you said, meal prep, going out, I always go out on Sunday and I'm like, okay, that's when we do our grocery shopping. And I say, okay, now it's 5 days a week. So I have to plan out, but then I always have to make sure, because in the position I am, sometimes we go somewhere for lunch and work at the same time for a meeting. So you have to plan ahead, and I have to look at my calendar and say, what days do I need to prep my meal? Which days do I don't? And then cook it on Sunday, and then you put it in your fridge, and it's all ready to go and prepackaged stuff.
Right on.
And take it, because my biggest thing is like, oh, I'll make something in the morning, or I got that, and if I don't prep it, at the beginning of the week or even the night before, it's not going to happen.
That's it, dude. That's
still, my wife makes fun of me because I'll make something up and I'm so tired and everything, just going through the motion, getting the girls ready for the morning. And then I walk out the door, and about halfway to work, I'm like, crap,
I left my lunch. Right. Yeah.
Like, looks like I'm having a donut and a cheeseburger from the cafeteria today.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. So we got to do better, folks. We got, if we really want to take control of our health, we're just gonna have to dig deep, and be proactive, because I remember when I first got started, which was 10 years ago in nursing, man, I was trim, right? I looked great I mean, I look back at those photos and I'm like, dang, what happened? As nurses, we don't do a lot of.
It's the dad bod that set in.
It's the dad
bod.
Definitely
it's
the dad bod,
bod, man.
definitely came in. But I didn't have the dad bod. I didn't have kids living with me. My older kids would live with their mom at the time, and so I had really trimmed down, and I was and I think it had a lot to do with all the stress in nursing school. So it wasn't really me being proactive with my health. It was just the stress, from all the work, and all the testing and everything. But anyway, I just feel like as nurses, I mean, what do we do? A lot of charting, right? We're sitting down a lot. I know we're running a little bit, but we do a lot of charting. And you see nurses over the years who've been nurses over the years. They have back problems, they have knee problems, and those things will cause you to slow down about getting in shape, right? Mm-hmm. But you keep eating like like you always have, and so your weight starts to pick up a little bit. Yeah. So we really got to be proactive in this stuff.
Well, my thing is that I played college ball, and you had to eat a lot of calories. Even being a kicker, we still work out. I promise you, we're not. There's a lot of rumors going around about kickers, but I guess not at our university. But the big thing is that you eat and eat and eat, and it's your body so used to it. And then going to nursing school. Yeah, man, it hit me hard.
I bet.
It hit me hard.
You keep eating like you were working out as much as you were, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And yes, as nurses, I mean, we all wear, the vast majority of us wear Fitbits or something that's probably comparable to that. So we know our steps, there's, but at the same time, even though we put in, maybe there's been days where I put 20,000 steps in. That's the rarity. I mean, I don't usually about 13, 14. But I think what Patrick brings up, and Tom, I did see that no one ever should bring a White Castle sliders into work. That's even worse.
But they do, right?
Good point. Good point. And it smells. I totally get it. But Patrick brings up a good point as well, is that there's so many infection control things going on a unit or anywhere in the hospital that it's even hard to have water near you. I know that the last place I worked at is that I couldn't even stay hydrated because one, I wasn't thinking about it. I was too busy. And two, you had to have some sort of a lid, or it had to be a special container. And then you'd lose it if it was there. And then, when Joint Commission was going to be coming around, everybody's like, hide the water. And I'm like, it's like, what do they expect us to do? Do you want us to be dropping from, low blood pressure? And
hey, man, you know how dangerous it is to have water at the nurse's station? It is dangerous.
It is very dangerous.
You got to watch out. You really got to watch out.
So that's a great point. And I don't know. I think Wesley was laughing at your dad bod, so I'm just going to go with that one from his comment.
Can we end shift work and let patients fend for themselves? Oh man, that's a great idea. Bottled water with your name on it in a backpack or a break room is good for hydration. Yeah, like we learned in Boy Scouts. Hey, so I have this tie that somebody gave me for a birthday present. It's a tie, and it's got a flask hidden in the tie. So it's a long flask.
I think we should wear camelbacks. We should just wear camelbacks.
Oh, yeah, that's
like there's tube coming out from the back of your scrubs, just like you don't have to put your hand up. But and Bill brings up a good point. It's like hydrate till you urinate, but we all know too. And then now you got another problem. Now you don't have time to go urinate.
We don't have time to pee. We're like, I got to pee again. Yeah.
So it's a very difficult.
That's why they don't want us drinking, because they know that if we drink, we're gonna have to pee, and they're like, "Whoa, that decreased productivity. We got to cut all that out. No drinking."
It's an infection. Right? But don't forget to go to the bathroom. It's very true, though. That's something we need to remember, though. I think, Mike, is that you got to, we're always prioritizing constantly when we're at work, especially on the front lines, and you have to be prevalent. I know it's easy for all of us. We want to take care of people so bad, and always put them first, because that's just who we are as nurses. But we have to continue to remind ourselves we can't take care of others if we don't take care of ourselves. And so somehow, even though it's just this little break, find a time, go through your mind does this have to happen right now? Can I take 5 minutes? You have to tell yourself that, because if you don't, that's when it gets away from you and you can really get hurt.
You got to take some you time, no doubt.
Yeah.
So let's move into this, because we're going to push this over, and I think it's halftime. we might be able to finish this up and catch the second half.
I told Mike, I got Mike, it's deja vu. I was like, haven't we seen this before already? So I know.
I mean, so who are you guys going for? Who are you guys rooting for? If you're watching the game, are you going for the Cavs, or are you going for the GSW? I mean, I think it's been like GSW, Cavs, GSW the last 3 years, right? I think it's, let's see, in 15, the Warriors won, 16, the Cavs won, and 17, the Warriors won. So this is 18. Who's going to win this year? Who knows? Anyway, so let's go through this. Top 10 ways nurses can maintain their health at work. And you already talked about one, meal prepping, right?
Yep.
That is gold right there. All right, because meal prepping, I mean, if you have it, and I found this, if I eat every 2 hours, I don't want any junk, right? If I eat so if I bring enough to eat every 2 hours, and I'm not talking about full meals every 2 hours. I usually have 2 full meals, and then I have some snacks in between. All right, like maybe like a boiled egg or whatever. It doesn't take much. And so if I'm eating every 2 to 3 hours, I don't even think about eating, because by the time it's time to eat again, I don't even want to eat, because I'm still full from the last time I ate. But I make myself eat, because I'm actually trying to bulk up a little bit so I can look as good as you whenever I get to the convention.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Let me see this. Anyway, I think this is a great idea. I think starting a walking group would be a great idea. If you don't have a walking group at your hospital, maybe it's before work, maybe it's after work, maybe it's, who knows? I was working at a hospital. I was working at Baylor Hospital in North Dallas, and they actually had a stair competition, right? And so they were doing stairs. And so they actually gave away some iWatches, 2 iWatches.
Wow.
For top, however many flights of stairs you could do within a certain amount of days, right? And so people were going and they were getting engaged, right? They were just doing these, on their breaks or at lunch or before or after. They would devote a little bit of time so they could, document more flights of stairs to their number.
Yeah. Right. Well, and I think there's another part of this too in walking group, because you're going to have many people are going to be like, man, I walk all the time already on the unit. Why do I need to go to walking group? This is not just about the walking. This also includes your mental health too.
That's true.
Get off the unit.
Get
off the unit. And it may not be very long. I get it. A lot of us work in high pressure situations where our patients are really, really sick. You feel that obligation to always be close. Well, that you have great colleagues right beside you. Okay. They're working right alongside you. And if each one of you takes a little time so that individual can get off the unit for even 10, 15 minutes, go walk outside, or just walk in a different part of the hospital, get your mind off stuff so you can reset it. So that you can de-stress or, relieve some stress maybe from that day. So there's not, it's not just a physical thing. It's also the mental health thing too.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I honestly, going to the gym, some people, when you work 12 hours a day, I have a hard time getting people to go to the gym with me, right?
Yeah.
Working 12 hours.
That's hard. I couldn't do it when I used to work 12. So I was so tired. But I finally got into it now that I'm 8 hours a week. I don't have an excuse anymore.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. You don't. But I still, for me, I feel like I get upset, right? I get angry if I don't go to the gym. My wife will tell you, she's like, "You need to go to the gym. All right, just go."
Out of the
I just get frustrated, man. I need to do it. And, but what I figured out, so I work Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, right? So what I'm doing now is I'll go to the gym 5 days a week, right? Including that Wednesday. So I have plenty of time Wednesday because I don't work till Wednesday night, right?
Mhm.
And then Thursday and Friday, I do not go to the gym, so I give my body 2 days off, right, to rest and recuperate. And then I'll go Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday again. So that's how you do it. So you work 3 days, go, you can make it at least 4 to the gym, 1 hour a day. That's not bad. I mean,
No.
just make it happen. This is your body you're talking about. We take care of these sick people all the time.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until I really, when I was working in ICU, my first year in the hospital, I was working in ICU, and I would see these sick people just, and some of them were just they couldn't get out of bed, they couldn't walk. They're in wheelchairs, they use walkers, whatever. And these people would give anything to be able to do what we take for granted so much, right? Going to the gym is if you can get up out of your bed and kneel on your knees, get down on your knees, you are blessed. There's so many people can't do it. Get out, move around, go to the gym if you can, put that body to work, right? It's important.
Absolutely. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. Rustin made a great point. He goes for the Cavs because he feels sorry for the team putting up with J.R. Smith. That's a good point.
Oh man,
That comment.
Can I highlight that comment there? Where's that at?
It's down. And you're right,
awesome.
Tom. Protein bars, protein shakes. Now that I get to the gym at least three times a week, I try to get all five in, and do different things, whether it's cardio or resistance training. But I have my protein, bottle or vat, if you will, actually in my office, and so I use that for breakfast. So I do my recovery. It helps me with my recovery when I get to work. But that's my breakfast, and then I eat protein bars throughout the day. Do small meals, and I think even on the front lines that helped me is that it's easier to get away than to go just as you're walking by the break room, jump in there real quick, eat your bar. Especially on a busy day, it makes it very easy. And then you can spend your half hour or whatever time that may be during lunch if you get it, because I totally get it. A lot of times we skip lunch and we shouldn't be doing it. It's just reality. But take a break, get off the unit, or just woo-saw a little bit. That's the time. We spend all of our time, hoofing it down to the cafeteria, and on the way back, that's already like 15 minutes. So it's if you brought your own meals, you're already ahead of the game. That's the point of doing that. But
so I'm going to skip this one right here. Say no to the junk food. That's pretty much, if you're meal prepping, that'll help. If you meal prep, it'll help, right? Drink lots and lots of water, right? We covered that.
Sparkling water. You always had to put the sparkling water.
I mean, I drink sparkling water. Let me tell you, I try to stay away from sodas. I'm telling you, man, sparkling water helps. It really does. And it's just as good. There's nothing wrong. And I looked up the studies. Sparkling water is fine. All right. There's nothing wrong with drinking sparkling water. No. It's just as good as regular water for you. All right. No worries. Some people said, well, can you drink too much sparkling water? No, you can't. It's fine. You get a little bloated if you drink too much, right? That's true. That is a true statement. How about standing up and charting? Standing up and charting? I mean, I
do that. Well, I used to feel like I did that anyway because I never stopped. So you're already doing that. But
I think some hospitals have those little push computers, right?
Ours, the cows or the wows.
Yeah, the cows. Yeah. I mean, grab one and hold one of those. Keep it with you.
Yeah, and to me, it's like just be conscious of what the day is going about. If you're running around all the time, just constantly, and you have 5 minutes to sit down, sit down.
Right.
But if you have that day or that night, working night shift, and you're like, man, I've been sitting down for like an hour and a half. Like,
I'm gonna get some Lovenox.
Get up. There's always those times where we always kid each other. We had the one chair cushion that like didn't get used, but so somehow I got behind the nurse's station. There's always this running joke on our unit. Like they saw someone sitting down for too long, they'd come out and they'd like put the chair cushion so that they can distribute their weight. He's like, I just don't want you to get a pressure ulcer. Okay.
Pressure ulcer. So you just gotta tilt him a little bit, put the pillow in.
Yeah. I'm just like, do we need to turn you?
That's good, man.
So, there's a passive aggressive way to get off your butt.
Yeah, right on. I love that. That's hilarious.
But
what were you gonna say?
No, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, that's where you're okay. All right. How about an outdoor hobby? Maybe you don't like going to the gym, but maybe you like biking, or hiking, depending on
Golf's
what time.
Mine.
Yeah, right on, man. But let me ask you: do you use a cart?
Depends.
Okay.
Depends on what mood I'm in. Yeah, because 18. If you do 18 and you carry your clubs, woo, it is a workout.
Oh man, that is. And
it all depends, because in Nebraska you could play a completely flat one. There's plenty of just flat golf courses, but I just played yesterday the Players Club here in Western Omaha, and oh my goodness.
Was it nice?
It's just it's nice. It's one of the private clubs that
rolling hills there, rolling greens.
Yeah. I would call it a pseudo links course because it's wide open, but yet it's not a true links course. It's not the huge greens with the multi-level tables and everything. But the driver's nice, but your short game, there's too many bunkers to not be hitting your second shot right. But I would not walk that course. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm already hurting enough the way it is, being the first time I went out yesterday. But
I get it. I probably would drive a cart too, especially if I'm having refreshments. You know what I'm saying?
But it was cart path only though, so I did get my steps in.
Oh, it was cart path only.
Just how I play, because it rained. We had like 2.5 inches from the thunderstorm rolled through. Being Tornado Alley, it happens all the time. Wow. But I was like, crap.
I don't know if I could play in 30-mile-an-hour wind. Hitting a golf ball around. You got to have some skill. What was your handicap?
Well, I haven't gotten it yet this year yet. But last year, on average, I think it was a 16. I ended up.
Wow.
So, but it's one of those. I'm Jekyll and Hyde because I don't get out enough. So one day I'm playing as an 8 handicapper, and the next day it looks like I just started golfing last week. So
yeah,
it's like, but I've been golfing since I'm 12.
That's how every one of my games are. Like, wow, is this your first time playing golf? You got to play at least every week, one time, at least once to have a good golf game. But that's a great hobby, right? That's a great hobby. You're definitely going to get your steps if you're doing that, right? Especially if you just stand on the cart path and then just do your steps. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think these last two kind of go into each other. Park farther away in the parking garage. It helps. You'd be surprised. And then taking the stairs. Now, if your hospital has 13 flights of stairs and you're on the 13th floor, I get it.
Yeah, right.
But my biggest pet peeve, and I know a lot of people's biggest pet peeve, is you have someone get into the elevator and they don't have any carts with them or anything like that, and then they're on floor 7 and they go 6, and you're like, really?
I do see that from time to time, and I'm like, what?
I was like,
but then
now I get it.
Look at the person. Look at the person.
I
mean, it's doing it, and sometimes it'll be kind of. That's a telltale sign, right?
Yeah. Well, and I totally get, you don't know what's going on with them. They could have a bad knee or bad hip or, something going on. So, you give benefit of the doubt, but especially the people who I know, I'm like,
right.
Give each other crap. Because I'm like, especially going down. Like going up is one thing, but you're going down a floor. It's not that hard to go down a floor. But anyway,
but this is a good list. This is a great place to start, right? You pick a couple of these, and and go to town. Like I said, we gotta do it. We gotta do it when nobody else is gonna make us do this stuff, right? But there's this very strong correlation with waist circumference and the incidence or risk of heart disease and diabetes, right? So if you're a woman and your waist circumference is over 35 inches, it drastically increases your risk for heart disease and diabetes. If you're a man and your waist circumference is greater than 40 inches, then it also increases your risk for heart disease and diabetes. And those two things alone, killers, right? You don't want them. You don't want them. So, we just got to do it, right? It looks like Rustin is saying, hey, my wife saw me tuning in and said she worked with you in neuro ICU at Sunrise. Her name is Nat. I know Nat. That's crazy. That's awesome, man. I love it.
Small world.
Small world. Hey, tell Nat I said hi. That's awesome. Man, it's been a long time since I worked in Sunrise Hospital. So I moved to Dallas in 2013. So it's been at least 5 years. Right on. That's awesome. Rustin, thanks, man. Thanks for letting me know about that.
Well, and I know, so that kind of hits our top 10. I think it's just a beginning of a conversation we could have for a long period of time. And I know with Mike and I always getting on, we always go past the 30 minutes, but we're still is our long-term goal to get to 30 minutes. So we have not forgot about this, but there's a very key question that Bill asked that I think everybody is wondering with your sparkling water, habits.
Yeah, what do you ask?
What's the premier brand? What's the Mike endorsed brand of sparkling water before we go?
All right. So I usually don't like to plug people, right? I don't like to plug people because it's free advertising,
Yeah.
But
maybe we'll get a sponsorship.
I'm going to tell you a joke, and you guys are going to find it kind of funny. Unless you like my kind of water, you might be offended by my wife, right? So she loves San Pellegrino, right? Loves it. And that's fine. It's cool. It's what I always used to get until I discovered Topo Chico. I don't know if you guys have heard of Topo Chico. So I know what you're thinking right off the top. You're thinking, wait a second, that's Mexican water. I'm not drinking any water from Mexico, right? But I'm telling you, this is natural spring water, mineral water. It is so delicious. And people were like, water is water, right? I mean, water.
No, it's not.
Sparkling water tastes like sparkling water, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't. All right. No. And it's Topo Chico is delicious. And I have to say, it's the least expensive, but that's not why I think it's just because they're a newer brand. And so maybe their prices are real low. But my wife calls them Topo Cheapo, and she makes fun of me for drinking this. I don't know why.
As her pinkies up, drinking her Pellegrino.
I know her saying Pellegrino. Topo Cheapo. I'm like, come on, honey. So when she'll buy, she goes to the grocery store, we like to order our groceries and just pick them up. That way we're not walking through the grocery store for hours buying stuff that's not even on our list. So she goes and picks it up, and she has, she has my sparkling water, my Topo Cheapo, and then her San Pellegrino. And so whatever. But that's mine. So there you go, Bill. Topo Chico. Check it out, man. It's really good. Patrick says that sparkling water used to be a lot cheaper. Then everyone started drinking it. Yeah, you're right. I know. Right? I didn't realize it was a trend until lately. I see the Dasani is now carrying sparkling water. I think Ozarka has their own sparkling water. I'm like, what is going on? Trending. Drinking sparkling water is trendy. I just got on sparkling water because I liked the idea of having carbonated water, and I don't have all those calories,
Yeah.
And whatever.
And Vixoni makes point, water doesn't have taste. You're right. But I will stand to disagree. My favorite water of all time, this sounds really weird, but in Champrey, Switzerland, they have a brook that runs down into the middle of town. This is like it's a ski town that the Swiss winter games people, practice at. And we just happened to go through there, and they let you just put your bottle right in this trough. That's and I drank it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Amazing.
It's the minerals. It's the minerals of the mountain. If it's that clean, this town is way up in the mountains, and so no herbicides or pesticides, coming from the Platte River where I live. You're not drinking from the Platte River, I'll tell you that, from all the herbicides. But you'd be surprised of how
the next time somebody says that I'm bougie, I'm going to tell them that story right there. All right, I'm going to say, okay, you think I'm bougie? Let me tell you about my buddy Blake. He only drinks water from this natural spring in North.
It's Champrey. Of course, it's French too.
I mean, that's just what he. That's how he does it. Well, he has a Louis Vuitton wallet, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So thanks everybody, for coming on tonight.
Patrick says he's from Switzerland. Neuchâtel. Is that right?
Yeah, New Shop.
I don't know, man. Whatever.
Oh, you are? I have no idea where that's at, but I bet you know where Champrey is.
Champrey.
But yeah.
Oui. Well, guys, look, thanks so much. I'm so excited that you guys all came kind of hang out with us.
Yeah. There's more. We hit 8 people tonight. That's the most we've ever hit. So let's keep sky's the limit.
Dude, I don't know if everybody knows, but whenever you go back, so from my side, I can look in and see all the views. These things get hundreds of views. So even though people aren't, on live, because, we got stuff to do, I noticed that people come back and watch this stuff. So I'm glad that we keep this on the page. But do you guys have any tips? What do you guys do? I will review the live. Okay, no problem. Vixony, no problem Vixony. Thanks for coming in. Do you guys have any tips to offer the group, the people that are watching this? What do you do to maintain your health? I'm curious. I'm curious because I always we talk to so many people.
Yeah, and we talked about protein bars. I think somebody Tom mentioned that, and probably the same things we talk about. But even if we get off tonight and you're listening in retrospect, please just post it because people come. Bill is just into this game right now. Cavs and 5. Thomas says vino, wine. That's it. That's his secret.
What is it? Vino. Oh, vino.
Wine. My cop skills to force the other 2 men in my school court into join. Well, no force, man. But we would love to have them join, Patrick. To have the other guys join AAMN. So again, post your stuff. Awesome. Post your stuff. We'll let you guys have a good night. And Mike, you got anything as the communications chair to say before we sign off?
I don't have anything special tonight. Nothing other than the announcements that we brought up first. This is it. It's been fun. I love interacting with all you guys, as I'm sure Blake does too. I really, really hope that I get to meet all you guys in person at the conference.
It's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah,
fun time.
And so hopefully, let's see. I'm gonna catch the second half of this game, and we'll see what's happening.
Cavs and 5. Cavs within 5. Bill says he.
Oh, is that it?
Giving us play-by-play. So.
Oh, wow! Look at there. He is. Hey, thanks, Bill. All right, everybody. You guys take care and good night.
Talk to you later.